about the challenges of marketing in the cannabis industry and cannabis industry's marketing challenges, because there
Yes.
are a lot of rules and a lot of regulations, like it wasn't easy enough or hard enough, if you will, to get into this business. So, Mike, thank you again for joining us, and tell us a little bit about the challenges that the cannabis industry faces when it comes to marketing and the regulations that kind of restrict them.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks again for having me, Jimmy. You know, I love talking to you, and I look forward to in the future when we can say, hey, it's number 100 that we've done together. So let's keep it up. But as far as challenges, you know, one of the things we're not going to talk about too much today are challenges, because we're talking about SEO primarily. And SEO is, you know, the rules apply across industries, and there aren't restrictions that you have, say, in paid advertising. So restrictions in terms of advertising cannabis or CBD are tough on, say, if you want to advertise on Google or Facebook, you've got to do it in ways where you're not mentioning the name of the product, and you're just talking about, say, the benefits or features of a product, like it reduces anxiety or pain or whatever. And it's really not, for a marketer, it's not the most fun thing to do, because you're dancing around something. And we like to work with data. We like to work with specific words that drive people and get to their emotions to get them to do something. So when you can't say the name of the product, yes, that's tough. But there are things that dispensaries are doing in local markets where they can do advertising, but again, they just can't speak specifically to marijuana or cannabis. Hemp, you know, you can get away with hemp, but more it's about lifestyle type wording. So
and wellness, and the wellness world,
yeah,
right? And there can't be a call to action. That's probably the biggest restrictive regulation. You can't say, hey, come on down and buy today. Even though we all know that's the goal of anyone who is marketing or telling their own story. And just in case no one understands what SEO stands for, that is search engine optimization.
Right.
This is how to take advantage of the Googles of the world, YouTube being the world's second largest search engine, right?
Okay.
So there's all sorts of challenges built in. I know you've got some prepared documents and some slides you want to share. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to you to kind of walk us through this and give us an education about that.
Sure thing. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm glad you talked about what what SEO stands for, because that's the first thing we're going to get into in this 30 minutes. Again, we're talking cannabis SEO in 30 minutes. Doesn't mean you can do SEO in 30 minutes, just means that's all we're talking for today. So we're going to talk about what is SEO, the fundamentals, the importance of link building, and what you should be doing now. I'm not going to get into the weeds of SEO. Thank you for letting me use that phrase. We're not going to get into the deep state of SEO. We're going to leave that 20% out there. I'm going to focus on the 80% of the stuff that's easy for anyone to understand and things that they should be doing right now. And it comes down to content. And we're going to talk about how do we get to that content. But why are we here? To grow revenue. 70% of the people look up a dispensary online to check it out before they become a visitor. So that's important. The vast majority of consumers, they look to Google before they make a buying decision. We're going to talk about local SEO versus national SEO. So think of this in terms of if I'm going to do a SEO campaign for a local dispensary, I'm looking to optimize and rank for cannabis dispensary in San Mateo, or Boston, Massachusetts. I'm not a national brand where I need to get my word out. I need to rank across the country for my brand. Local SEO is also about optimizing your Google My Business listing and having those citations, starting with a Google My Business listing, which helps with SEO. You want to maximize, optimize your Google My Business listing, but that's part of local SEO. Again, with national SEO, we're generating traffic from people all over the world for our brand. So we're going to put up content that's not geo-specific. So here, back to what you were explaining what SEO means, search engine optimization. And that's the problem with SEO. It started early on with that acronym, and it's just wrong. We're not optimizing the search engines, right?
Right.
We're optimizing websites. So it's website optimization. That's the goal. So if you see here on the right, this is, the search results page. We're looking to optimize our website so that it shows up in any of these organic listings. You'll see this page has no paid ads. So all of these are organic listings other than this answer. People also ask box here. So you have all of these organic listings, and the goal is to be on page 1 for whatever search term or product or service that you offer. So 4 words that will change your life. Okay. This is no matter what website you have, but especially now, with cannabis, there's so much content you can be putting out there, educational content, CBD, a lot of educational content around CBD because it's a much more popular product and people have questions about CBD. Can I give CBD around pets? Do I take CBD for, sleep, to help with sleep, pain, anxiety, whatever. So the 4 words, they ask, you answer. All right. Simply put, if someone is typing in a search in Google about a product or a service that you provide, then you best put up a page of content answering that question. They have a question, you know the answer, put it up there, because that's when Google sees that you have this content on your site and it's tagged properly. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into meta tags and what you have to do on the back end of your website. If everyone just focuses on putting up content and then bring in an SEO pro to fix it, optimize their tags and all of that stuff. You want to put tags on your images also with those important keywords, which we're going to talk about in a second. But put up the content, answer the questions that are out there, and you are 80% of the way there to an SEO home run and to ranking on page 1. All right. Now, also an important part of this is figuring out what content. So that's
no. I'm going to actually interrupt you. Not just what content, okay,
Yep.
but what form? Is it audio? Is it video? Is it audio and video? Or is it text?
Yeah.
And because search engines, I believe, they don't actually hear the videos or the audios. They need to read the text. Isn't that
Right.
accurate?
Yeah, and that's why you'll see a lot of blog posts that have a video. Like if you embed, and we were talking about this the other day, let's say you do a video and you upload it to Vimeo or YouTube. Now you want that in your blog post. So you just take that snippet of code, you embed that video so it shows up in your blog post. Smart marketers will then get a transcript. They'll spend the 20 or 30 bucks to get a transcript produced of the words that are spoken in that audio or video. So that's important. And then not only that, you also, we're starting with the tips here. So hope people are writing stuff down. Here's your tip. When you put text on your page, link, if there's something on your website somewhere else, and you have a word in your text that refers to that page of content, that's called an internal link. So make sure you link from one page to another. Google likes to see internal links going back and forth. So you want to see like 2 or 3 internal links on your page. Not a bad idea to also link out to a third party's website. That shows you're a good citizen of the web. Google respects that as well. There are 200 variables in the Google algorithm, and that algorithm changes almost every day. They're going to tweak it one way or another. But 200 variables, they won't tell us which are the most important, but we know, for instance, like the meta title of a page is important. The headline, the meta headlines, the H1 tags are important. All the image tags are important, things like that. But those internal links are important. Links to outward are important. And half of our job with SEO, when I'm working with a client, is making sure we're getting external links. That means links from third-party websites coming into our websites. So that's an important.
Is there a ratio of internal to external? Is it 50-50? Is it more internal than external?
Well, try to get many more external is the answer to that. Right? You can't flood your page with a lot of internal links, but you certainly can ask for 1 billion links out there to your website. How do you get that? By producing content and then publishing a post in social media. So you want to be publishing, posting in all of your social media platforms, a LinkedIn business page, a Facebook business page, Instagram, Twitter account, Google My Business listing. You need to, once you put up a blog post, you have all that good content, you're doing all this linking stuff, Go out, tell the world you did it through social media. You never know who's going to see that reference in social media and say, oh, I'm going to link to this because this is a good resource, right? CBD for dogs. I'm just writing an article about this. I'm going to link to him. Those are the very valuable links. And that's why I say we spend half of our time in SEO getting those external links to your website. Very important. So how do we get on page 1 of Google? First, through keyword research, which we're going to look at in a second. Publishing content, like I just was talking about. Promoting via social media. Building trust. Trust, again, meaning that you are the authority in this space on this topic, okay? In your case, Jimmy, cannabis news media, whatever people are searching for, cannabis regulations. If this is stuff you're covering on your website, you want to make sure you have pages for each one of these things and they're tagged properly. Preferably they got a good piece of video on them, and et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, trust. When we talk about trust, we're talking about building authority. Google will reward those websites that are putting up a lot of content and showing that they are a trustworthy figure. How do they know that you're trustworthy? Because people are linking to you. When they see other people are linking to you, that's a big signal. They're saying, oh, these guys have the answer. Now, if someone types in CBD retailers near me or whatever, and people are linking to you, if everything is equal between two sites and you've got all the links coming in, they're going to put that site that has the links on page 1 over the other site that's not doing a good job of optimizing for SEO.
Now, I want to ask a question about Google Ads for a second, because when you ask that question,
Hey, Jimmy, I was only paid to talk about SEO today. I will not get into paid ad. Go on. I'm sorry.
It has to do with page 1. Okay.
Yes.
When I go to page 1, half that page are paid ads. It's ad. And then like 3/4 of the way down, you find the answer to what you had asked.
Right. Good, very good question, because when we do keyword research, we often look to see how busy is page 1 with not only paid ads, but maps and service packs and these answer packs that Google throws in there.
We Talk Now, We Talk News, and In the Weeds are all available on most major podcast distributors like iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and our friends at clnsmedia.com and our flagship, cannabis.net. So subscribe, share, and like our videos on all the social media networks out there, including LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the WeedTube, and YouTube. Weed Talk and In the Weeds are 2 productions of Pro Cannabis Media supported by Revolutionary Clinics, one of the top medical cannabis dispensaries in the Massachusetts area, now with 3 locations in Greater Boston, 2 in Cambridge and 1 on Broadway in Somerville. Rev Clinics has a patient-first mission. They will customize your needs as a medical patient with the proper titration and combination of strains, flavors, and products. Rev Clinics, where the patient comes first.
We are Pro Cannabis Media.